Each one of us has been impacted in some way by colonial harm as it exists in K-12 education. So please join us, Group 12, as we understand the steps taken towards reducing this harm and creating a more equitable learning environment. Historically, students from marginalized communities have been overlooked. This process of overlooking is rooted in colonialism, and this colonialism promotes the erasure of histories in favor of an assimilative approach, which allows we as a nation to rewrite the past of Indigenous Black people of color. Frary, 2005, explains the element of colonialism when he explains the banking concept of education, in which students are passive listeners and teachers are depositing knowledge or education. This form of learning is harmful because it leaves no room for critiquing or challenging 2 of the 7 guiding values, principles, and outcomes of ethnic studies teaching as presented by the LESMC. To decolonize education is to create systems which are just and equitable, addressing inequality through education, dialogue, communication, and action. Belfi and Sandiford, 2021. Without critiquing and challenging, or the center of marginalized voices, decolonizing education is not possible. Policy and practice are a crucial part of this process.
An example of colonization in education was the Arizona Anti-Mask Bill, otherwise known as HB 2281. Delgado 2013 states, the Arizona Anti-Mask Bill, or HB 2281, prohibited classes that were designed for students from a particular ethnic group, designed to increase racial solidarity, and aimed to overthrow the American government or create racial resentment. Although the law does not mention any particular type of ethnic studies, the backers of HB 2281 made their intentions very clear. They wanted to end Latino studies in public schools. To do so, the law penalized non-conforming school districts by withholding up to 10% of state funding, which could...
Next, we are going to talk about decolonizing policy in education. First, Assembly Bill 2016 proposes to amend the California Education Code for the inclusion of ethnic studies in high school curriculum and will provide funding and resources for the development of and implementation of ethnic studies courses and programs in K-12 schools with the goal of improving student engagement, achievement, and social-emotional well-being. AB 2016 seeks to promote the implementation of ethnic studies in public schools as a way to challenge dominant narratives and perspectives that have been shaped by colonialism and promote a more inclusive and accurate understanding of history and culture.
Assembly Bill 331, or AB 331, is a bill introduced in the California State Assembly in 2019. The bill proposes to add a one-semester ethnic studies course as a high school graduation requirement. The course aims to provide students with an understanding of the experiences of ethnic and racial groups that have been historically marginalized in the United States. The course will focus on the contributions of these groups to American society and culture. The bill includes provisions for teacher training and ongoing support, which is a crucial component of decolonizing policy.
Assembly Bill 101 proposes to make ethnic studies a high school graduation requirement starting in the 2029 to 2030 school year. It requires schools to develop a model curriculum for ethnic studies that includes themes such as social justice, race, racism, and intersectionality. Additionally, the bill will require the California State University and University of California to develop teacher preparation programs that focus on ethnic studies. AB 101 promotes a more inclusive and accurate understanding of history and culture by incorporating ethnic studies into high school graduation requirements. The bill recognizes the importance of providing students with an understanding of the experiences and contributions of historically marginalized communities and promoting a more diverse and inclusive educational experience. This is a crucial component of decolonizing policy as it challenges dominant narratives and perspectives that have been shaped by colonialism and promotes a more inclusive and accurate understanding of history and culture.
Here is what the current curriculum looks like now, as depicted by CACDE's Ethnic Studies Model Curriculum. The curriculum will introduce students to a variety of academically rigorous content and skills. The educator will first build a community by establishing a sense of trust within the classroom. The pedagogy is community and culturally relevant, which uses an inquiry-based approach to ethnic studies, which encourages students to pose questions, investigate, explore academic content, and research and theorize solutions to problems that have and continue to generate inequities and racial tensions. Educators democratize their classrooms by creating an environment where students and teachers are co-constructing knowledge.
The implementation of policies such as Assembly Bill 331 are crucial in education because they work to decolonize and take action against educational practices such as deficit thinking that often makes assumptions about students of color. Such policies also allow students of color to have a valued and included voice in the classroom.
A well-crafted curriculum allows and encourages students to draw from their cultural knowledge and their communities. It should provide a platform for students to express themselves and share their stories. One way that's been found to be effective for doing this is photo voice-based projects, but this is not the only way. Well-crafted curriculum also helps strengthen cultural literacy and critical thinking skills. It helps students analyze and identify racism and systems of oppression and build confidence in themselves to be forces of transformation.
Pictured here, we present to you some examples of praxis that were born out of both colonizing and decolonizing policy. Finally, we share with you the elements of our life that are or could have been impacted if we were taught with an ethnic studies curriculum earlier in life. Please pause to read our comments and view our pictures. We thank you from Group 12 for watching our presentation.